everyone. Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco, and today is June 6, 2021. So I think it's safe to say that it is pretty much summer now, right? It's like 90 degrees outside.
It's not summer till it hits 98 degrees, Marco.
Well,
Just ask Nick Lachey.
it doesn't hit 98 around here. But you know what that means?
Pool party?
Sleeveless Summers, baby. Oh yeah!
I didn't realize this was going to be a thing. I just happened to be having a tank top on under my sweatshirt.
I planned this like 10 minutes ago.
Ridiculous.
Oh man. Hey, at least you had a tank top underneath.
That's true. I'm going to put my sweatshirt back on just because I'm in my side room and it's cold.
Yeah, you do that. Do you have air conditioning in there?
No, I do not.
So, as you can tell...
Because if there's an AC running, that's all you'd hear.
That is true.
Because we're recording a podcast, Marco.
Hey, turn the mic sensitivity down. So, as you know, Joe can't be with us today.
Because it's Sunday.
Yep. So, instead, remember that very happy photo of him that we got during the podcast that one time when his camera froze?
I do.
All right, so this is what my screen looks like. I just added the image to the recording. So now he is just there constantly.
Oh, hey, guys. Happy to be back on the show. Marco, you're so cool.
We'll see how he reacts to it when we put out the thing about this episode going up. That'll be the first time he sees it.
It's more or less we're trying to get ratings. We know he's the one that brings them in.
It's kind of like just trying to slap Steve Carell in the office all the time.
So what's new?
Nothing much. Apparently I've almost done like some illegal things and stuff, but that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You ever get your Bitcoin back?
My Ethereum. So actually, here's the thing. I just need to go onto my computer, log into Coinbase on there, and go through. I have to like upload the ID and stuff. For some reason, it won't let me do it on my phone, so I have to do it through the computer. I've just been too lazy to go onto my computer and do it.
To make $5,000.
Yeah. Well, what's Ethereum at right now? 3,600? Or no, 2,800. I mean.
I don't know.
It's not back up into the 3,000s yet, I don't think.
I think it did, and then it went back down.
It's 2,700. It's crazy where Bitcoin's at, though.
Still low.
It's 3,600. You have to think it was 60,000 like a month ago.
True, but you got to think it was 1,900 2 weeks before this.
Yeah.
A little bit of a roller coaster.
So what have you been up to?
Just working more work.
Oh. Yeah.
I gotta get another 100 hours before I can graduate, so gonna try and burn those up in the next month. And
before you can graduate the internship?
I need the internship to be done so I can graduate from college.
Oh, I didn't know that's how it was working. Okay.
I mean, technically, they already had the ceremony and my name was said. I just got to finish up and be done with it.
They're like, we'll take your word for it.
Pretty much.
Brandon, this is the time where you leave.
I'm very tempted because no one's really checking in on me. So I'm very tempted to be like, yep, did 50 hours both weeks. I'm done.
Oh, it's hilarious. Such an MCLA thing.
But whatever it takes.
So, you vaguely heard about the story through the text. Me and the whole restaurant thing.
Oh, did you want to talk about this?
First off,
or you want to save it for when Joe's here?
Nah, I'll say it. So first off, I think I did get set up by my friends after doing further research, but that's something else.
So
Uh,
you have to tell the story because no one here knows it.
yeah. So we go to a restaurant. The restaurant is owned by somebody that goes to the gym. Um,
Really?
yes. So me and my friends go there, like, all right, let's support our local business and stuff, whatever, right? Because I'm sick and tired of them wanting to go to Applebee's every night. Like honestly, out of everywhere you can go, you choose Applebee's. But anyhow, so we go there and we're just eating and stuff. And for some reason, anytime me and my friends go out, we have this like we just dare each other to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it involves trying to get like the waitress's number and everything. So,
Has it ever worked, Marco?
oh yes, it,
Oh,
it has. So the
go Mike.
whoever it is that go Mike.
Oh yeah, I assume it's got to be Mike,
Who?
the one getting numbers.
Mike hasn't left his house in like a year because of COVID. Um,
Hey,
these are
even
these
more
are
power
different
to him.
friends. But anyhow, so where the person that seated us, my friends are like, Marco, you should try to get her number. I was like, I don't.
Classic.
I was like, I
Did
don't
you want her number?
know. So,
Really? Well, that's brutal to say
well,
in the
because
podcast.
I didn't know the person. That's part of the problem. Like, I didn't know who they were or anything. And it's like,
Marco, just on first impression guesses, like you have to be like, oh, this is someone I would like their number or someone I wouldn't want to have
they had a
their
mask
number.
on.
Who?
The person.
You keep saying the person. Is it a woman?
Yeah, the lady. The
I mean, I'm not judging.
I don't
I'm just
know.
trying to get
I don't know
context of
how
the
like
story.
because I don't know like what her role was at the restaurant. She
So
was
she
the
didn't identify as a waitress.
no because
She
she was
might have
just seating
identified as a
people.
hostess.
She was just Is that the hostess?
That's so you're not trying to be woke. You just don't know positions in a restaurant.
Yes, because this is where the story gets even funnier.
Because she didn't take my order.
So
I
she was the person seating people. What's that role?
hostess.
Okay, then that this doesn't make any fucking sense now. Okay, so anyhow, so my friends dare me.
This is the part of the story that doesn't make any sense to you.
This is the no because this is where things get weird. So my friends are like, okay, she was the hostess. You gotta put your phone number down and say like this is for the hostess. I was like, eventually they talk me into it. I do it. I pay with my card and everything. Blah blah blah. In the for some reason in the heat of the moment, my friends were like, let's leave and stuff. Blah blah blah. I forget my card at the restaurant first of all. So I forget my card at the restaurant. Okay, and then
After you gave her the numbers or
I
before?
wrote my number down on the receipt thing to give with the card. So I give it away, the card to them. Um, our waitress takes the card and everything. Blah blah blah.
Has she shown any interest in you whatsoever?
The hostess?
I'm very confused. Who did you give the number to? The hostess or
Well,
the
we put
waitress?
down that it was for the hostess on the receipt.
It's a little slap in the face to the waitress, but okay.
But anyhow, so here's what. So then we leave. I forget my card. I get a message through Facebook saying you left your card at the restaurant and the number you gave me doesn't work. So I must have put down the wrong phone number unintentionally,
How,
which I
how do you forget? Put down the wrong
I
phone
didn't
number.
take out my phone to see what my phone number was.
You don't know your own phone
Not
number?
by heart. So so I was like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. So because I could just go, because Mike will just be at the gym in a couple days, and he'll. Oh yeah, his name's Mike. Will give me the phone or give me the card. So it turns out, so Joe was like, I ended up telling Joe the entire story
Mm-hmm.
the next morning before Mike was able to tell Joe. So Joe was like, "This is good for you that you got ahead of things before like we could absolutely just shit on you for stuff."
It's called damage control.
So Joe was like telling Mike, he's like, you should really convince Marco that he was talking to a 16-year-old to get him like really nervous and like creeped out and
To
everything.
get you nervous.
Yes, to get me nervous. And Mike texts Joe back. He's like, well, that would be funny if it was a joke. I have never blocked somebody so quickly in my entire life. And so that ended up happening. And then I feel like there's another part to the story that I'm just forgetting.
Did you? Well, you just lost your. You got your identity stolen a couple weeks before that. You think you'd be a little more careful with where you leave your information.
Oh yeah, because I did leave my card there. Oh, don't worry. Actually, that card has been for like the past 3 months. There's been some charge on it that's gone up to like $400 that we have to get back. So,
Marco, I just think you might want to start doing everything in cash.
I probably should. So I don't know the whole card thing. To be quite honest, I think it may. You know how Home Depot always has those security breaches.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the times Joe had me go get supplies for him from Home Depot.
But wouldn't that be on his card? He always gives you his card.
No, because I was going to his house. He wasn't even in town.
Gotcha. You could have bartered with him. Show up with a gold brick. I will give you a quarter of this for that lumber, sir.
Lumber prices are insane.
Right, that's why I used a gold brick. So you're going out with this girl when?
Never. She's 16.
Tuesday? I mean, good on you for having morals, but bad on you for hitting on random people at restaurants.
You know, it's just, I don't know. Your friends dare you to do something, so you do it.
Yeah. Marco, we dare you to get into a long-term relationship so you're not alone. I don't know, guys. Will you double dog dare me? Marco, you had an issue before with a woman at a restaurant, or whose parents owned a restaurant, right?
That's a different story. We're not talking about that.
Maybe you should just stay out of the restaurant business.
That is a completely different story.
Have you tried women that worked at Target?
Okay, first off, the thing you're talking about is years ago, back like when I was in high school.
Right, which was 2 years ago.
3.
You're not as old as you think you are.
3 now.
That's not a long time, Marco.
In retrospective, let's see, I'm 20 years old. 3 out of 20 is actually like a decent amount of time. That's like 15% of my life.
Maybe.
But anyhow, so after like that entire scary thing happening, because I could have gotten arrested for it because of interacting with a minor, I guess, right? Is that what Chris D'Elia got in trouble for?
No, Marco.
No. Anyhow, so within my time
didn't try and
of laying...
This podcast has gotten weird. You didn't try and Welcome back to Nerds in the Legal Department. You gave her your number. You found out she was 16. You stopped it. You're fine.
Okay. Anyhow, so during the time when I was very nervous that something bad was going to happen, I sat down and watched clips of Family Feud because it's hilarious.
The one with Steve Harvey? Oh, it's very funny.
Can we talk about how great it is?
You're about 5 years too late. He's been doing it for a while, but
Well,
sure.
no, I always see like clips and stuff like here and there, but I mean like I was binge watching hours upon hours of footage.
I've been watching since I was a kid. It's a feel-good show.
My mom was actually getting annoyed because I was having the volume blasting.
She's more of a Jeopardy fan.
Yeah. God. Alex Trebek's gone. Move on.
Too soon. Aaron Rodgers is in Hawaii. He's not going to host your show.
I did see those. People are making such a big deal about that.
I think it's a slow. When sports hits this point in the year, basketball playoffs are on, but they're not that popular in terms of like the NFL popularity. Baseball season's still early, so it's just like it's not playoff season for them. So it's a very dull.
That's the thing about baseball that makes no sense to me. Is the first like half the season could really like not matter what your record is really. if you go 500 or just like sub 500 by like 10, 15 games, you can still make the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs second half of the season.
It's all about the second half and that.
I think they should change up the scheduling for baseball. But NHL playoffs are happening. Bruins 2-2 in the series. They
Yeah,
got blown out
no,
last night. What was it, 4-1?
I didn't even watch.
I
To
think
be
it was
honest with you.
4-1.
Well, the Islanders are a really good team, but no, playoff hockey is great. But if your team's not in it, you're not going to really sit down and watch
Yeah.
random games for the most casual fan. So
They did something this year for the NHL playoffs because of COVID, where like the way that the grouping and stuff is different.
for the fans,
No, like I think
or how the games
how
are.
the games are set up in like the playoff bracket, I think.
Oh, they did that all year. They switched up to the divisions.
Well, yeah, they did it
So-
all year, but like for some reason it confused me when it got to the playoffs. I don't know why. But it's based off a region now, right?
Temporarily.
Yeah.
They'll go back to it
Yeah.
once COVID is back. It's the divisions are the same, but the teams you played, you didn't play all 32 teams.
Yeah.
You just played 16 of them.
Yeah.
So you weren't traveling across country.
You know, that is so like that is more set up like a typical like high school sports team or something. Like you stay like in your area, and then the only chance you have to play all those other teams is through the playoffs.
Right. So, but no masks. We're masked off.
Here in Massachusetts, at least. Some other place,
Most
states are doing it.
most states are getting ready to.
Um,
Even California.
yeah, it's now New York is weird right now, I think.
New York was like one of the first to unmask, but they were the ones hit hardest, which is blowing my mind.
So no, they unmasked, but apparently people are still like heavily enforcing the masking rules.
Because it's still up to individual business.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like it would be better if Joe was here, he would be able to say it, but like the restaurant that I went to, M&M's in New York, Mike was saying that like health officials and stuff are very keen still on wearing the mask.
Mm-hmm.
And like they are like the workers are basically forced to wear it or something.
Well, it's just like any business.
Yeah.
If Joe says you have to wear khaki pants at the gym, that's the rule.
Yeah.
Follow it or get fired.
But this isn't Mike that the owner that's saying it. It's like the city that's saying it. Or the state.
So that's another thing. The city officials can have their rules. State officials can have their rules.
Okay.
And then the U.S. So it's just like, if someone wants to wear a mask, it's
You can tell I didn't pay attention in history class.
Price Chopper was insane. I went the first day the mask mandate left.
Yeah.
Like the tension was just insane.
Because there's those people like, well, it's not the rule anymore, and then those people like, you asshole, you should put a mask on.
It just divided people.
Yeah.
And then there's this old woman just coughing without a mask on. I was like, I could ram her with my cart right now, and I feel like
There is some other sickness going around right now that a lot of people are getting. It's like a really bad head cold with congestion, sore throat, fever. But it's not COVID.
allergies.
So I would like to say it's so that's the weird thing. I'm not sure if it's because I stopped taking my allergy medicine or if I was actually sick from getting it from somebody else.
I take my allergy medicine pretty much only in the summer. And like Zyrtec just stopped working. I had to switch to Claritin.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
the stuff I use.
But I took Zyrtec for years.
So the stuff I take is like a non-drowsy kind, so I think that probably makes it a little bit weaker.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably could have been part of the problem. But like allergy medicine is also one of those things you need to take it like every day. If you don't take it consistently, it kind of like gets out of your system.
Right.
But so last week I stopped taking my allergy medicine. There was somebody that I was around that was sick. It wasn't COVID or anything, but then I started getting those same symptoms, but I couldn't tell if it was allergies,
Mm-hmm.
if I got sick from that person, or if it's a combination of the two.
I don't know, Marco.
But like, I'm seeing it like all over, like online and stuff on Twitter, TikTok. They're like, it's not COVID because they're getting tested. It's not like the flu or anything, and it's not. I'm trying to think of the other illness. There's like one other illness they were getting tested for. It's not that either, and I wonder if like the common cold right now, if it's hitting our bodies harder just because we had the mask on for so long, if it like
Right.
affected our immune system, and that could be what's happening.
It could be. Just because you got to think, like, we also didn't go outside last year.
Well, it's crazy. I didn't get sick at all within the past like year.
It was the first time in a long time, neither did I. And when you're washing your hands all the time and sanitizer.
The only time I was sick was right before the mask mandates and the shutdowns happened, which is when I think I had COVID. And that was like a pretty like long, like I was sick like pretty badly for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then I still had shortness and breath and stuff for another like 3 months.
This is essentially what it is. So
Yeah.
Sorry, can you hear my phone going
Yeah.
off? I can silence it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Oh, is it?
I forgot the
is it your
microphone was on.
internship?
No, not on Sundays. It's so weird. Like, I feel like my phone saves alerts, so I got like 2 from Target, 1 from my email, 1 from a text message all at once.
Well, you know it's
I was trying to look up to see if we had any nerd news.
nothing much has really come out in this past week. I think there's some people thought that the Spider-Man trailer was coming out on Tuesday, or the teaser. Wait, there was a teaser for something. I can't remember what it was.
We got a teaser for Shazam.
That's what it was. Shazam 2.
You watched the first Shazam?
I did not see it. I heard people either like.
I read a review online on a YouTube video that he liked it.
So one thing is it's completely different from the rest of the DC movies because it's lighter tone and it's like comedy focused.
Right. It was the first one that was kind of funny.
So I saw like a lot of people like really liked it, but then like the few people that disliked it just didn't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I heard overall like good things about it.
I watched it once. Wasn't bad. It was kind of funny.
I'm just trying to see if
you were probably too young for Scrubs, but the guy from Scrubs is in it.
Okay.
I think. Hold on, let me double check that one. I always screw up him in another one. Nope. Okay, not Scrubs. Never mind. The guy from Chuck.
I don't know what that is.
Chuck was, I think, it ran for 6 seasons. It was about this guy that worked at Best Buy, or their version of Best Buy.
Okay.
And long story short, he finds out that the U.S. has a secret spy agency underneath the store.
Yeah.
And he gets roped into it. So it's this guy without any spy powers or training trying to help these 2 super spies.
Oh, okay.
It's actually kind of pretty funny. I like it.
Nerd news from a couple weeks ago, because we haven't done this in a few weeks. Dave Filoni is officially an executive creative director at Lucasfilm.
Cash those checks. Did you hear the rumor George Lucas might be getting brought on board for creative ideas at Star Wars?
So if Dave Filoni is up there, it's probably already happening. Because Dave Filoni has always worked very close with him through like the Clone Wars series and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that is great news on the Lucasfilm side. And that could also like spill into like Indiana Jones stuff as well. We'll see what happens. It's so crazy.
Signed Harrison Ford to a 10-year deal.
It's so crazy to me. We have this huge thing, Lucasfilm, but it's pretty much just Star Wars.
Well, I think at one point they were really trying to branch out because they had. Trying to think of some of the other movies they did.
American Graffiti is underneath Lucasfilm, I think.
Lucasfilm?
Yeah.
There was some sort of Val Kilmer fantasy elf movie.
What?
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Val Kilmer. And it's so funny because it's like an underground movie. It's like a cult classic that people love, so people are probably yelling right now.
Yeah.
All 3 people that listen. It's called Willow.
Wait. Did they have anything to do with what is that movie? Howard Duck?
Yep,
Okay.
Howard the Duck, which if you think was one of the first Marvel movies.
Yeah. And technically speaking, Lucasfilm does like all of the special effects for the Marvel movies right now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Well, it's because they have the best special effects like team and stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, like you have to think like Star Wars was the originals, like that was just mind blowing the technology they had.
Oh well, they have like a 20-year head start on everyone,
Yeah,
so that only makes.
and then you had to think the CGI they were doing back on the prequels, that was groundbreaking too.
Hmm.
So like they're way ahead of everybody else because like it's like you watch like the DC movies and you can still see that there is like a clear like difference between the Marvel stuff and the DC stuff in terms of effects.
The DC one looks like it's straight up made on a computer, and you can tell.
Especially what was it? The original cut of Justice League, the entire like
Hmm.
final like
Battle.
battle looked like it was straight out of a PlayStation 2 game.
You're not
It
kidding.
had
That
those
was a rough
same
watch.
like drabby, like dreary colors and stuff with like little hints of red, but mainly they're just like this dark gray tone, and it just looked awful.
The character like didn't move right when he talked. It was very weird.
So funny. Oh my god.
I still got to go back. I got to find like a 3 hour chunk of time to watch that Justice League.
I've been having that like I've actually probably have had time here and there, but I one time like when I could have, I ended up buying Resident Evil 8 and I played it,
Hmm.
which that was actually really good. I've just finished yesterday.
I just started the Bad
Oh,
Batch,
you did?
and I didn't realize the first episode was like an hour and 10 minutes long.
Really?
So I think it's only like 8 episodes, but it's like when you think about it, that's 3 episodes
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So you actually get 11, but it was a good chunk of time. It's really good. It's just trying to find time for this stuff.
Yeah. Did you see the new image from the Uncharted movie?
No, but to be honest, Marco, I didn't play the video game, so it's not going to mean
So
much
it
to
doesn't
me.
mean much to me, but I think this is very interesting. Tom Holland's co-star is Mark Wahlberg.
I like that.
S-
You know what's crazy, Marco, is that Mark Wahlberg's been hanging out in Berkshire County more and
He
more.
just got a house.
I heard that was disputed
Really? He
because his
what?
limo company says he always stays at a hotel.
No, he just got a house in like Willingham or something.
It's out there.
Um, no. So somebody that is in the was in the grade below me. Her family owns the airport and stuff, the
Mhm.
Pittsfield Airport. So like I used to always hear whether like those people, like famous people,
Mhm.
came in and out, and then also like my friend, he's down in Florida right now. He he used to work at the airport because like he's gone to school and everything for piloting. But
Mhm.
one of her friends, we were hanging out with her the other night. She was just saying something that like Mark Wahlberg just like bought a house in the area.
Could be.
Um, and
There's a lot of money out in the Richmond
and
area.
then The Rock is buying one too.
It's pretty cool.
Uh, but if you think about it, like it is like a great place to just kind of get away from everything.
Well, especially so they go out to that section. There's not any issues.
Yeah,
And for Mark Wahlberg, I know he's got a lot of family out in Boston.
yeah,
They just opened Wahlburgers in Springfield, so I'm sure he's down there for that.
yeah. We should
So it's
take a
close enough to
let's take
everything.
a nerd's trip down there.
We can. Have you ever eaten at
So I
Wahlburgers?
ate at the whatever the original one is down in the
Yeah.
Boston area.
So it's not bad, but it's not like a mind blowing burger.
So so I thought it was actually really good when I had it, but I also went to the original.
Hmm.
Because I went to the one. There's one near Patriot Place. And that one was not
Yeah.
as good as the original Wahlburgers.
It could be. And again, I could be a burger snob too because I've eaten them all over the place.
Yeah.
When do you turn 21?
I turned 21 in July 19th.
Okay, so that's pretty close. Well, I'm just saying it's connected to the casino.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have to walk into the casino to do it or if it's just nearby. So I don't want to drag you down there and then have you get turned away.
You know where the Red Rose is?
Yeah.
Right down the street. In that same like building complex.
Okay, so it's at the casino, but it's not
connected.
connected.
Yeah, it's not connected. You're good. Or I'm good.
My issue is if I'm driving all the way down there and it's just like, do I want a burger from Wahlburgers or do I want Red Rose? I'm going to have a hard time.
Let's do this. We get a large pizza and burgers. Just like completely
really
the American diet.
It is a funny moment when you become an adult and you realize you can do things like that.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Like, can't stop me now.
It's like as long as you have the money for it, it's just like, why can't I get French fries from one place and a burger from another?
Yeah.
But back to the celebrities moving here, it's like I wonder if so they don't ever have to go to like the bad parts of town.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can just pay for your groceries to get delivered. So if you want to disappear, that's the way to do it.
Also, there's like they have a strong connection with like Williamstown.
Williamstown's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that theater festival brings
so like
people in for artistic
there's usually
purposes.
Celebrities around like that area too a lot.
Mm-hmm. But not like Hollywood A-listers. Those are usually like the middle of the pack.
So I think there's also a lot of like relatives of celebrities that live in that area.
Maybe.
But I could be wrong on that.
But so like Mark Wahlberg was photographed. He ate at the restaurant on Pontuzic. I can't remember what it's called.
Whatever club. I know what you're talking about.
There we go. We got it. You and me, halfway there. The Proprietor's Club. I was there 2 nights before that. I was just like, if I just waited.
That's also I forgot because that's people I know work there and they were saying how he was there.
So the other thing is like something like that. I'm sure there's enough space because it's like a wedding venue place.
Yeah.
As well, that they could give him a table upstairs and let him.
Oh yeah.
Do his thing.
Did you see the Eternals teaser trailer?
Oh, I did. It didn't really show too much.
No, it didn't.
It just confirmed that Daenerys Targaryen is.
Well, it's so
in the MCU.
I was seeing so many memes though because one of the lines in the trailer was it hasn't been until now that whatever is going on Earth like requires our attention and stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you had a man with this gauntlet that snapped away half the universe, and you didn't think that was time like to maybe come in and help.
It is kind of funny. So it might be a prequel movie.
So I was thinking
in like the 90s or 80s.
Yeah.
And with the Eternals not aging the same way, you can easily bounce them around.
Yeah.
So what's funny is you have that mindset, but in the first 10 minutes, Marvel's going to have one line of dialogue that fixes it and has everyone go, oh, okay.
That's what you hope.
Because if you remember that first Superman movie where they destroyed an entire city.
Yeah.
And then immediately after in the third Captain America movie, they're just like, you guys can't do that stuff anymore. It's like, they're just answering DC in their own movies and making a whole 6 franchises about it. I was like, this is genius.
Did you see Timothée Chalamet has been cast as Willy Wonka in an upcoming origin movie for Warner Brothers?
Who's Timothée Chalamet? What's his big?
He's just some young kid actor that everybody crushes over for some reason.
I just didn't want to make sure it wasn't the sheriff from Mandalorian again, the one that was in the office for 2 episodes.
No, he's 25 years old. He looks like I don't even know. He just He was in Lady Bird.
I guess I probably know him if I look at the picture. Not that it matters. So Willy Wonka, right? So I grew up watching the original, and it's like, oh, it's on TV. I'll watch it maybe.
Yeah.
So I've seen it 10 times growing up, and it just used to creep me out.
Well, especially what scene is it when they're on the chocolate river in the
In the tunnel, and then like the worms are getting dumped on people in the video. The video is the creepiest part.
So do you know that Gene Wilder like improvised that entire scene? The whole like
Doesn't
chocolate river
surprise me.
scene? Oh my god. But yeah, like I don't get it. Like he's just like some normal looking teenager that just has his hair like slicked back and all the girls drool over him. I don't get it.
Well, now you're just being salty, Marco.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess.
No, my thing is the origin story. So it's what him in like the deep African jungle, and he stumbles across the Oompa Loompas. I don't need this story, is what I'm saying.
Or
I know where
he finds, you know, a cocoa bean. What can I do with this? Powder?
this is the most delicious chocolate I've ever tasted. And then the natives are chasing him around.
Oh
Like,
my god.
I don't need it. Like the Adventures of Willy Wonka? Like, no. I didn't need the remake with Johnny Depp. I didn't even see it. I don't need this.
So funny.
I like Gobstoppers.
Gobstoppers are great.
I didn't know they even still made them. And the thing is, they're in all the supermarkets. You go to the candy aisle.
I have never had a jawbreaker that is so sweet at the end. You know, like how like
It's very
most
sweet.
like jawbreakers, like it kind of just turns into like this like.
Are we talking about Gobstoppers or Jawbreakers?
Well, gobstoppers are like an attempt at like a jawbreaker, but like they're not supposed to be like a super jawbreaker.
For me, it's just like instead of a Jawbreaker, I'd rather just Gobstopper.
Oh, gobstoppers are way better. Cause
My thing is like you pay $1, you have candy for all afternoon.
oh yeah, well because like a normal jawbreaker though, like they kind of gets weaker on the flavor as you go through. The gobstoppers get sweeter and sweeter as you get through. It's just like the sugar
then you can just eat
concentration
'em.
is like down here, and it's just like. But gobstoppers are great. I remember I used to always get them when I went to the movie theater.
It's a solid candy
Oh,
choice.
it's great.
But again, I don't need this franchise. It's a TV series, is what you said.
Oh, I thought it was. I don't know.
Oh,
I closed
either
it
one.
out already.
But you know, at one point they're just going to be like,
It just said
"Oh,
origin
what are you
story.
laughing at?
I think.
Why are you laughing at my taffy? Laffy Taffy? Hmm."
It's so funny.
Or he's going to be running through the jungle, and mark my words, he's just going to be like, "You got to get out of there. You're in a pile of schnozberries."
Do you think he like finds like this like really like rare cocoa bean and he goes, "It belongs in a chocolate factory."
I like it. It just all of it's just bad.
Oh man.
It's just like it's a fizzy lifting drink. We'll use it to escape the capital.
It's so crazy to me. I know I won't probably be watching
I
it.
won't
watching it.
but it's just like there's people out there. Does Johnny Depp do the voiceover for it if it's a prequel story?
Johnny Depp isn't allowed any jobs because Amber Heard destroyed his reputation.
He did, and then the movies he did were awful. But now it's coming
Yeah.
out that like he was right and she lied.
She was, yeah. Oh man,
So
that's so crazy to me.
So welcome back to Pirates 9, Johnny.
Oh man, I think they're supposed to be like trying to reboot the franchise.
That's what they've been saying for years. Or they were trying to bring back Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom as the main characters. But after the third one, I thought they were done.
And if they can't get Keira Knightley, just bring in Natalie Portman. Same thing.
You're on fire with these jokes today. And I don't know if it's just because we took a couple weeks off or you're just up and ready to go.
I don't know. I think I stopped caring.
You're just on fire. Any other nerd news?
this isn't really nerd news. Um, Actually, hold on. I'll go through this one first. Dan Harmon is making the first blockchain animated series as Fox embraces crypto.
I saw that.
I don't get what that means. Like, are they talking about crypto investors, or is like we're going to like go like into like this electronic world where like we're kind of like looking at like the blockchain? I like if they're making some like fictional blockchain world or something. I don't know.
I think if anybody can do it, Dan Harmon can and make it funny.
Oh yeah,
But also Rick and Morty, new season's coming out in 2 weeks.
very excited for that.
So
And
that'll be good.
Joker's comes back July 6th, I believe.
Oh, that's good.
July 6th or 9th. Sorry, I think I have dyslexia. But this next bit of news, Sir Paul McCartney cuts a youthful figure. His mop top is luxuriant, and at 78, his vision remains as good as ever, too. His secret for 2020 vision? Eye yoga.
Did you look up what eye yoga is?
So, let's click on the link. So, I'm not sure. Is it going to make me register?
It wants my social security number. Seems legit.
If I had to guess, like, it probably is just like moving your eyes around in weird ways and stuff, and I don't know, blinking a few times. Or
It
it's the
hurts.
fact that he has millions of dollars and probably got LASIK eye surgery. I don't know. Next bit of news: Kevin Spacey has been casted in his first film role since sexual assault allegations.
He's an okay actor. He did some horrible stuff. I'm okay without him being in anything.
I forget. Joe said something too because I was talking to Joe about it. I think he's even like he's playing like a teacher or something.
Oh God. Whoever just gave him that job is just asking for trouble.
I know. Oh man. But like, I don't know. The thing is like he has enough money too, where like he doesn't need to act anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could go the rest of his life without acting. And it's I'm actually shocked that like anybody did hire him.
Well,
but it does.
I mean, we assume he's good with his money, but if he's like one of those celebrities that lived lavishly and wasn't good with his money, he could be on literally a house of cards.
Oh, I like that. I never saw this show, sadly.
Never watched it either.
I never watched it, and I guess I can't watch it now, or else I'll get canceled. And actually, there's news that just came out while we were starting Nerd News.
Breaking news.
Falcons expected to trade All-Pro wide receiver Julio Jones to the Titans.
You son of a bee. I was saving that for the end.
Oh, were you really?
I was just like, we usually wrap it up with sports. I'll save it. And then I was just going to ask you, I was literally going to ask you, like, hey, any other nerd news? A friend just sent me a text about it. I didn't look it up. What did they get for him?
So, I'm just seeing, like, this was trending. It says they're still finalizing compensation. The package for Julio Jones will be a second and a fifth-round pick or a second-round pick with a swap of other picks per sources. But the belief is the agreement will get done.
It's insane.
That offense could be
already good.
Super good. Imagine having a threat like Julio Jones and you have to worry about Derrick Henry out of the backfield.
Say you got Julio Jones double covered. It's just like you either just hand it off to Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So, because you got two guys out of position already. Or if they're stacking the box, you just put Julio Jones one-on-one out on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. As long as he's healthy, like.
So here's the problem. This means that if they want to win with Julio Jones, it has to happen this year or next year, because he's already 32. Like he's got size and everything that can help extend his career, but this is like the last 2 years where he's going to have breakaway speed and stuff.
Well, I think they know it too because Derrick Henry's going to get paid bank in a couple years. Tannehill had a good deal coming from Miami, but not like an amazing financially one. So if Tannehill keeps winning, you're going to have to pay him too. So it's going to be good.
So that's why I really thought the Patriots were going to get him, just because he would have been a guy that would have helped like the younger players, and it would have been like the Patriots have a legit chance of making a playoff run this year with their team.
No doubt, just on paper.
And I think that would have worked really well. But man, the Titans could be an unstoppable force this year.
What's crazy is a 2 is not out of the realm of. How many 2s do we have on the roster that actually turned into something, and how many were duds?
Oh, yeah.
Just give up the 2. Like, man, I would have given up a 1.
Yeah.
Easy. For Julio Jones?
Yeah.
Cam Newton got hurt in practice on Friday.
Yep, he got hurt. Mac Jones was wearing like a compression sleeve on his left calf, but he was a full participant. They said that, what's his name? Jared Stidham was just on fire the other day.
All it took was drafting a first-round pick, re-signing Cam Newton and Brian Hoyer to get Stidham to wake up and be like, oh, I should probably try harder.
They said Mac Jones has looked good. The other day, though, he was like 9 for 11, but one of his incomplete passes should have been an easy interception for Kyle Van Noy that was dropped. And then 7 of his 9 completions were checkdowns. He wasn't really taking any chances.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we just don't know what they were working on either.
But hold on, too. You have to think, Brady's first, year in the league was mainly checkdown after checkdown with, a ball downfield or, a risky throw here and there.
Well, that was his first year as starter. He had a year before that carrying a clipboard.
Yeah.
So it's it's a complicated offense.
Yeah.
And I'll take checkdowns over incompletions all day.
Oh, yeah. But Belichick was saying he's getting the offense down very well.
He's got a photographic memory, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's going to give him a leg up. But it's a very complicated offense.
Oh, it is. Because, I forget how it was phrased. The way that Belichick did it for Brady when Brady first became the starter, they only took a chunk of the playbook, and that's all they used. And, when Brady would go onto the field, Belichick would be like, you're only looking this side of the field. The other side of the field doesn't matter right now. Or you're only looking at the front part of the field, past 10 yards, don't look.
You know what's funny about that? Is that's exactly what Sean McVay did for Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Well, he would literally read the field for him.
Yeah.
And then say to him in the headset what he was looking at.
Yeah. Well,
So...
But, it was different, though, with, I think the way, Belichick would just tell Brady this stuff before the game. On this play, we're doing this play to get this amount of yards. You're not looking for, anything more than that.
I think a lot of coaches do that with younger players.
Yeah. I think the problem with Goff is he was legitimately telling him every single play what he needed to do. Goff, I don't think Goff had any understanding of the playbook.
Which could very well be. I think it's going to be interesting in Detroit this year. I heard rumors they're going to sign Gurley too.
Yeah, I saw that
too. So
you're
just taking what failed with the Rams 5 years ago and trying it again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's a bummer for Detroit fans, but it would be interesting.
Oh, it definitely would be. Okay,
now
the Chiefs are trending, but I don't think it has anything to do with the Kansas City Chiefs. Ravens are trending.
Ravens were trending because they had a clip from practice of Sammy Watkins catching a touchdown from Lamar.
Good job, practice.
Sammy Watkins is always hurt.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy if he's going to be their number one. He's very talented.
You know what? He was on the Chiefs, right? That's probably why they're trending.
Well, the Chiefs also, Mahomes said he wants to be the first team to go 20-0.
Oh, okay.
So that's been trending.
I
And that's right after Brady said he'd give up 2 of his Super Bowls for one perfect season.
Yeah. I don't like the 17 game season thing.
Another week of football, I'm in.
Well, they're taking away a preseason game, but I don't like it in terms of how it affects the players. The players get so
Players are the ones that voted it okay, so.
The players get so beaten up though. And
oh no, I agree.
And on top of that too, like really it's just the NFL's way of making more money. But like I don't know. It also changes like all the records and stuff now too. Like this is a new era of football if you think about it.
Well, you got to think so. Adam Vinatieri will now always be cemented as the greatest all-time scorer in points because everyone else after him has had more games.
Yep.
So once the kickers that played in this era are done, like he's just going to be solidified.
Oh yeah.
So
that's gonna be very interesting in like 10 years from now when they're trying to compare Mahomes' stats to Brady's. Like Mahomes' stats will always blow Brady's out of the water by the end of his career, probably.
Yeah, if he plays 20 years, yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, if he keeps getting the seasons like he's having, he does even need to play 20 years. But it doesn't matter if you don't win.
He always has those leg injuries.
That too.
So you got to think every year he's going to not be able to recover just as much.
Yeah.
You hope for the best. But you were talking about the records. At one point, the NFL was a 14-game season.
Yeah.
Then it went to 16, so all the ones that got 2,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
With 2 less games, that looks all more impressive.
Oh, yeah. Those are the stats where it's going to be like you're going to look back and be like, well, clearly this guy was like something else.
Well, you look at I think, did Derrick Henry get 2,000 last year?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I thought he came close, I thought.
He was getting close, and I just can't remember. He did 2027, barely.
2027 last year?
2020 season. Yeah, last year.
Yep. Okay, so it's impressive, but you got to think there's players that did it with 2 less games.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
But also another thing though too with like the 2,000 rushing yards, does it make it more difficult that the game is way more technical on a game plan basis now than it was like
back in the day?
Yeah.
I think they always take that out of it.
Yeah.
Because it's same thing with basketball, where we don't have to really get into it, but just like the games change so much.
Basketball right now, it seems like every player, like position doesn't matter as much anymore in basketball.
So if you had a 2,000 game season, at 14 games, you had to get 142 yards every game.
Oh yeah.
So that means if you had a slow game, you had to get like 200 yards the next week.
Yeah.
So if you look at those players, they probably had multiple 200-yard games.
Which Derrick Henry has had those. Multiple.
Yeah. Oh no,
But
last year. Yeah.
Also, I think the game has just you'll see Derrick Henry go weeks where they don't run him as much, and it's not because
he'll be under 100.
It's not because he's doing bad. It's because the passing game is way more prominent nowadays than it was back when there was only 14 game seasons. Like passing,
and that's why you see
passing is continuously like the 2000 era was probably like the most ridiculous era in terms of passing, and that was strictly pocket passers. Now we're going in a weird way with quarterbacks where now they're really good at passing but super mobile now.
Which used to get shut down.
Yeah.
They wanted you to be one or the other. So it's going to be really good for the game, but also really bad for that group of guys that isn't mobile.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is super athletic at that position.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting. Because like Drew Brees just retired. Drew Brees is like your typical stand in the pocket quarterback. Mm-hmm. Tom Brady. Once those guys retire, there's not too many coming in. Even Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Is on the lower end of being like a mobile quarterback, but he can still go out there and throw his body around.
I think it also plays a big role in like cap space and stuff. Because if you think about if you have a mobile quarterback, it opens up a lot of options in the running game in terms of read options and stuff.
Mhm.
And those defenders are going to be more like worried about the quarterback too. So if you're able, so then you can have just like a mediocre to above average running back. You don't need a like superstar running back now. So now,
So the running back is what's getting devalued
yes.
in all this,
So
because like the Patriots haven't had a number one running back in 15 years.
yeah.
They go with the five running back committee.
hmm And like,
But if you go sorry, not to keep
yeah,
interrupting.
no, you're
If
good.
you go too far in the other way, like Lamar Jackson, so he can run it, but he can throw it, but they run him so often that the wide receivers, the free agent ones, don't want to play there
Yeah.
because they're not getting the catches, they're not getting the touchdowns, they're blocking all the time, so they're not going to get paid.
Yeah. So now you have to think this is devaluing all these other players, but it increases the quarterback value. So now it's like
Mhm.
you're putting all your money onto this one player, and then you can get just like these average receivers and stuff. But because of how the quarterback plays, it opens up those other avenues of the game because it's messing with
Right.
the defense.
So that's why it's funny because the ring chasing teams are back.
hmm
It used to be New England. Now you got the Chiefs. People are taking pay cuts to go to the Chiefs. People are taking pay cuts to go to Tampa Bay.
Yep.
If you have like an established quarterback, if people would take pay cuts to go to Green Bay, I think, if there was any like sense that they wanted to win now.
Yeah.
So say Aaron Rodgers goes to a different team, that team automatically becomes a ring chasing team.
Oh yeah.
And just the way money goes in the NFL, it's just like it's crazy to see that coming back.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know. We'll definitely.
Tennessee, no.
What?
Tennessee could easily become a ring chasing team.
People
They just have to
really
have a
like
deep playoff run.
Vrabel too.
He's a player's coach.
Oh yeah.
It'll be good. All right, man. We're rocking about an hour now. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about before we?
No, I think we got a lot in. But
I
yeah,
like it.
yeah, it was good. Plan on.
Next week, Sunday's going to be tough unless we do like earlier in the morning. Nah, Sunday's probably tough.
What about
So if we
Saturday?
do Saturday, I can do.
What time?
Whatever time works for you, I can probably work around it.
Okay, because I get out of the gym around like 1-ish.
Okay.
So like shortly after 1.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
All right, man. Sounds good. Just remind me later in the week.
Yeah, I will.
All right, guys. We've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco. Thank you to our sponsor, Anchor. They already listened to the sponsored segment. It's fine.
Oh,
It's already like a pre-recording thing. I got it done. Don't worry.
okay, sweet. All right, guys. Until next week.
We'll see you.
Peace out.